Happy Wednesday, everybody. Super excited to be doing the What's My Home Worth live event every single Wednesday until I decide that I'm not going to do it anymore. We're going to test this out. This is our very first one. And the whole reason behind this is to try and give people the information that they want about their house without the commitment of needing to be connected with a realtor intimately, in the sense of like having them come to your home. I am just going to be giving information based on statistics. I've had some people fill out the form to have their home's value featured, so we're going to go through that today. And I tried doing the live like 15 minutes ago, and it was, I don't know what was going on, but we couldn't get on live on Instagram and all those things. So anyways, we're going to try it this way and see how we make out. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to list off the homes that I'm going to feature and their potential value. And this is a non-bias. This is just a baseline evaluation. There is no way for me to be able to solidify this value unless I do come and look at your home. But this will give you a baseline, like I said, of potentially what your home could be worth. Now, if you've done a bunch of renovations and you've done a bunch of work to your home, this probably isn't going to be super close to the current value, but at least it'll give you an idea. So we're going to start with Cindy. Cindy filled out her form online and wanted to secure her home being featured for its value. So what I'm going to do is I'm using the house price index tool for this, and I'm going to pop it in here and see. Actually, I lied. I'm going to do another property first before Cindy's, and then we'll move on to hers. So the first house was purchased in Campbellford for $560,000 in December of 2020. So this home is a two-story home, is in Campbellford, was purchased December 2020, and was purchased for $560,000. And so the evaluation that I get is $735,000, which is a pretty significant increase in equity for less than 5 years of home ownership with that home. So it went from 560 to potentially 735,000. So if that's you and you're the one that inputted that information, then your home could potentially be worth $735,000. Okay, so now let's go into Cindy's. She shared her information with us, and she is in Belleville. She's a two-story home. She purchased back in 2022, and we are going to take a quick look at that. And she paid $725,000 for her house. Now, this is going to happen. This is going to happen when I'm doing this. And this is another reason why I'm doing this, is because it's not always sunshine and rainbows. So Cindy purchased her house for $725,000 in 2022. She has a two-story home. The house price index tells me that her house could potentially be worth $663,700. That's less than what she paid. And I have had a number of instances in the last couple of months where I have gone to give a home evaluation to the property owner, and we basically uncovered the fact that we could not even list the home for what they paid for it. It was actually worth less. And I'm just doing the math here because I really suck at math. 663,700. So that's a decrease in value of $61,300. Now, bear in mind that 2021, 2022, these were COVID times and home prices were inflated. So, and usually when you buy a house, it's a long-term, like you want to live there long-term. You want to be there longer than, you know, three years plus, right? So this is kind of like the stock market where it kind of goes up and it goes down and up and down. So right now they're sitting at a loss, unfortunately. Potentially. Now, if they've done work to the house, different story. This is, again, just a baseline evaluation. So they're looking at a negative. Whereas the other property, the Campbellford property, was purchased for $560,000, was potentially worth $735,000. So many factors come into play with this. Location, purchase price, what kind of home you have, what the neighborhood is doing in that particular area right now. So we're going to dive into the third house, which was purchased in December of 2020, and it was purchased in Belleville, and it's a one-story home. And I've just got to plug in these numbers. December 2020, they purchased it for $375,000, and it is giving me an evaluation of $465,000. So this property has appreciated and has appreciated by about $90,000, which is, this is a positive note, obviously. So if you're the one who purchased a home for $375,000 in December 2020, living in a one-story home in Belleville, the potential value could be $465,000 in today's market, not knowing what improvements you've made to your home. So let's go on to property number 4. And this property is a one-story home in Belleville, purchased in July of 2021. And again, I just need to plug all this information in. And they purchased it for $326,000. So the value that I'm getting is $323,700, which is slightly less than what they paid, $2,300 or in and around that amount, that the house could potentially be worth. Now, again, just bear in mind, this is a baseline evaluation. This is not including any potential upgrades, updating, those kinds of things. Sometimes too, the property in your neighborhood, your neighbor may have the very similar house to yours and may have sold for, say, $400,000, then maybe you have a better chance of getting the same roundabout evaluation or price for your home as well. Really depends on what is going on around you, what updates you've made, and so on and so forth. So let's go on to the last house. And this is a bungalow purchased in Belleville in July of 2009. So we've done quite a few newer homes, where this one was purchased back in 2009. So that was a little while ago. So November 2009 for $172,500. So they purchased their home for $172,500 and purchased it back in November of 2009. So it's giving me a potential value of $554,100. Now, of course, this was back in 2009, which was 16 years ago. And so we're seeing a potential increase in value by 172,500 minus 554,100. We're looking at an increase in value of $381,600. Now that's just going to show you that the long game is always, not always, I shouldn't say it's always the best game, but the long game is really what the focus should be when you're purchasing Real estate, I mean, you can purchase real estate and flip it. If that's your thing, then this doesn't really come into an account. But if you've purchased a property long ago and you've been there forever, and you've made updates and all those things, you are going to see appreciation in your home. You're going to see that the value of your home is likely going to increase. Now, it's unfortunate for those who purchased a home in COVID or during 21, 22. That seems to be like the little sweet spot right now where I'm going and evaluating homes where when they purchased back in 21 or 22. And that's where I'm seeing in today's market, we can't pull profit out of that necessarily. It's different for everybody, obviously, but I'm seeing personally, these properties that are purchased in 21 and 22 are being evaluated lower than what they purchased. And when I look back at, the sale of the home back in 21 or 22, I am seeing that they paid several $1,000s over asking. In one instance, one of the homes that I evaluated, they paid over $100,000 over ask, which in that case, if they hadn't paid $100,000 over ask, then maybe we would be in a position where they would be seeing a profit and being able to list to make money. But that's not the case in quite a few cases that I've been at as of late. So those are our 5 homes for this week. If you were one of those people that submitted your information, other than Cindy, who gave me her name, everybody else was kind of anonymous, incognito. So, but obviously you're going to know if it's your property, if you know what you paid for and when you paid for it and what kind of home you have and where you live. So thanks for tuning in. If you are interested in doing this next week with me, you can also go incognito. You can go under the radar and go to livesignup.ca. You are not required to give me your name, your phone number, your email, nothing. If you choose not to, that's totally fine. But there are a few of the required elements to that I need to be able to give you your baseline evaluation. So go to livesignup.ca, put your information in so you can get featured next week. Tell your friends and family members who might also be, curious about their home's value. As I keep repeating, this is a baseline evaluation. If you want something more specific, where I actually come to your house and evaluate what you've done and what's going on in your neighborhood, that's going to give you a more pinpointed sort of evaluation where it's going to be more accurate. This is just kind of generic, general sort of thing. So anyways, we'll see you next Wednesday at 12 p.m. live here on the social platforms. Please reach out to me if you have questions. If you want to know what your home is worth on a deeper level, my information is all below and you can reach out anytime. Take care.